recording? Yep, it is. Okay, good. But I listened to what Jim Valvano said 4 years ago. The most poignant 7 words ever uttered from any speech anywhere. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Those great people didn't. I'm not special. I just listen to what the man said. I'm fragile. I feel pain. I hurt. I open my eyes. I crave victory. I cannot give up. I feel fulfilled. I fear content. I create. I conquer. Make a choice. Decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be.
What's up?
And then from that point, the universe is going to react.
Hey, bro. Can you hear me?
Your life. If you like. Would you like that, Chris? Yes, sir.
Duo. I'm here with my great partner, Sean Harvey. He's in Edmonton, Alberta, so it's kind of nice to have all this technology to be able to do all this long distance. We have a really great guest speaker with us today, and I think I'm just going to pass it over to Sean to introduce our guest speaker, and then we'll go from there. So thank you very much for joining us, and welcome. Sean, take it away.
Thanks, Julia. Welcome, everybody. We're actually reaching 3 corners of the world. We're going to reach the 4th one. But I just wanted to thank you all for reaching out to us and enjoying our time together that we have. We had a little change in plans. Somebody fell sick. And I just want to say this. The best part about being in business is about building relationships. If you have those relationships in short notice, you can fill in the position that somebody else had spoken for. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for that, Jeroen. We appreciate you. I was able to meet Jeroen through a mentor of mine, Darren Little, in one of his sessions, and I was completely in awe when I seen what was going on. And I'll let him tell his story, but I just want to give you this for a moment. It changed my perspective and my life going forward because I was able to meet Jeroen. So I'm forever grateful for him. I look forward to building a long-lasting friendship as well as a business relationship where we can just go and help and inspire other people to make a big difference in their lives. So I'll let Jeroen go on his story. And I just want to, thank you very much. Please help me welcome Jeroen from the Netherlands.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it that I can be here actually. Well, we talked about it a couple of times about what you were going to do, and I was really appreciative and supportive towards this vision of yours, you too. So thank you so much for having me on. And for people that are watching this live, either or through the recording of this call, I met Julia and Sean actually on a webinar. Actually, after the webinar I did with Darren Little, which is as well one of my mentors that I had in my business and life. And I'm right now helping them to release some emotional blockages that were keeping them from success and from connecting with other people. And that's exactly what my vision and mission is, what I think is what I meant to be and meant to do in this life. And I'm going to touch on that a little later. So I was asked to share a little more about my success story. So how did I get started with being an entrepreneur? So for me, it all got started 5 years ago. And I was still in a job, but I had that feeling that there was always like something more to life than just go to a 9-to-5 job, right? It was like something within me wanted to come out, wanted to wake up from the situation that I was in, from, just the regular 9-to-5 grind that I was going through every single week. And I didn't really know how or, what to do. But I had that feeling that was really urgent to come out. So I started my first business 5 years ago, was in the network marketing business. At that time, actually, I was already a personal trainer. So I kind of had my own business, but I wanted to do so much more than just trade my time for money, right? And at that moment, when I got to my first business in the network marketing industry, I started to sell and promote health and nutrition products. I found out that I pushed really hard. I was in a full-time job as well as was my girlfriend, and I tried everything. I didn't care about hitting people up on the streets, in shopping malls. I wanted to do it all, you know, give like home meetings, and I didn't care, right? Because I had a dream, I had a vision, but I was not really clear on how to get there. But I just figured I had to do something, you know, I had to just get started and go away with it. So then I think after like a couple of 2 or 3 other businesses in the network marketing industry, I finally got introduced to the wonderful world of internet marketing. And in the meantime, when it really took off for me, when I finally got to where I wanted to go right now, that started when I first read and watched The Secret, right? The movie The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and read the book. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you who are on live right now or seeing this recording have read the books by Rhonda Byrne, maybe all of them, but most definitely The Secret, because it changed millions of people around the world. But for me, it really changed my life. You know, it was like there was a light bulb going on inside my head. But as I always was this guy who was looking for answers, right? And it doesn't stop, because it started with this one question, like, what else is out here? You know, why am I doing this every day? What more can I do? You know, what's my purpose here? You know, what do I need to do here? So when I got into the material of The Secret, the law of attraction, manifestation, you know, creating your desired reality, I was looking for answers. Why? You know, why does this work? Why this works? And why does it actually work for a lot of people? And why doesn't it work for, well, most people? You know, because there's always like this small group of people that this works for. You know, just think about the law of attraction. Ask around how many people actually do know the law of attraction and how many people have success with it, right? So it goes so much more deeper than only the law of attraction. There's really a science behind it. That's what I found out over, you know, a period of time, like say 5 years. So the hardest part I found, and I think the hardest part that people struggle with when they are starting a business, is the mindset part, okay? And the mindset part is not only trying to think positive thoughts, right? And focus on the things you want and visualize your goals, and because you can really sabotage yourself. But most people do not know about this, okay? Now, what the hardest part actually is going from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. And the thing that I always shared in videos and in my Facebook posts is that I am so grateful that I got this inner feeling that I just needed to quit my job. I only had like a couple of months of success where I, you know, just made a couple of $1,000s online. It was not really consistent, but I just did it because I had that feeling that I need to do this, because when I did, I actually really had the time to figure out who I was, right? And what it is that I had to do here. So I'm not encouraging you to quit your job tomorrow or today, but keep in mind that there's so much that we don't know. And there's in my opinion, in my experience, there's only one way to do this and to really have a change. And that is to change the way we look at things. Okay. It was, I cannot really remember the name right now. It has to pop in my mind. But the one quote I honestly love is, it's Wayne Dyer. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Now, if you learn that the reality around you and the physicality around you, it's not that physical and it's not that big of really stuff, that like I can touch my phone in here, right? I can reach out for this bottle in here. I can have this pillow right here. But this is all not that physical as we know, as we think it is. Okay. Everything vibrates, right? Everything is a frequency. And when you learn how you can use that knowledge and then, set an intention, what you want to do and what you want to reach, then it's actually coming towards you, right? Now, the only thing that we really need to focus on is letting it come to us, right? Because that's the main thing that people struggle with. First of all, when they start a business, what I've seen, and just to be clear, I'm not a really a guru. Okay, I'm just normal, like everyone on this call or everyone is listening to this recording. I just studied for over 5 years. I connected with a couple of business partners and mentors that shared with me information that went over like 20 years and that worked for them. And that's when I got from a researcher to a practical implementer. Okay. Because you can read all the books around personal development. You can read all the books around mindset. But if you are not really implementing this into your day-to-day life, and that means creating awareness. Okay, now awareness is really about knowing more than you did before. Have you ever read a book or just a piece, I don't know, a letter or something, or watched a video over and over and over and over again, or read a book over and over again? Every time you read that same book, there's something else that is triggering you, or something else that is coming to mind, like, oh my God, I just didn't know, I just didn't see that before, right? Now that's what awareness actually is. So when you keep on feeding the mind, because the subconscious mind is actually the one that is steering the ship, right? It's 95% of everything we do and everything we think and we feel. It's from the subconscious mind. Okay, it's so much more powerful. But what I found throughout the years, and that's exactly what I'm teaching right now to my clients as well, is that reality as we know it right now is when you are not having, the desired reality. But for most people, reality is, in general, it is based on a broken map. It's based on a broken subconscious map. And that subconscious map of reality consists of what you think you are, is your self-view, and what you think the world is, which is your worldview. Okay? So the self-view and the worldview. What you think you are, what you think the world is. And do know that if you are watching this, that there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? This has all to do with conditioning and with programming. Okay? We have been, lied to for over 6,000 years, all because we thought that this was reality, right? And now this is actually exactly how we tune into the science behind the law of attraction, because there's so much more about it. Okay? Now, back to my story, because I can go everywhere. So, back to my story. I really had some major breakthroughs when I started digging in deeper. So I got into the material of Bob Proctor. I got into the material of Wayne Dyer. I got into material of a lot of these motivational speakers, right? And law of attraction teachers. The biggest breakthrough I had, and I'm honestly grateful for it till the day of today, is when I met one of my mentors, Darren Little. Now, what he shared with me, and I took his mentorship, I invested in it because I knew, sometimes you have these specific things happen in your life, these specific events that you know that this is destined to be, right? That this is really not logical, or anything happens for a reason, right? That's exactly what happened when I met Darren. So when I met that mentor, I knew, and I didn't even worry about how I was going to get up with the money and how much it will actually be to get his personal mentorship. I just knew that I had to, because he was sharing with me some things that I really was looking for the answers to that questions. So I had the biggest breakthroughs in that, going through his mentorship. But the coolest thing is that of course, it got me a lot of more awareness, but it really sank into my subconscious, because after his mentorship, that's why it's so important that you tap into personal development every single day. After his mentorship, I got through new material that I found. That's when all the light bulbs were going on. Like, everything clicked for me. And that's how I restored my subconscious map of reality based on science. Okay, guys, this is not some BS, some information that someone made up. This is all scientifically, right? So the only thing you need to understand is that you have been conditioned by people who love you, still love you, like your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, family and friends, I don't know, maybe church, which is all okay, right? But the thing is that we all took for granted that this is actually how life works. So when I started to ask myself questions, and that's the cool thing, when you ask the right questions to the universe, you will get the answers, right? The people will show up in your life that can help you get the answers. The people will show up in your life that will show you the way, where you want to go. So when I first got started online, I pushed really hard. Okay, I'm here in the Netherlands, in Europe. So I worked with a lot of people from the United States, from Australia, from all over the world. So there was always this time zone difference, right? So there were like a lot of all-nighters for me, right? I really literally worked like a dog, and I got some success, but I still was not sure how so many people make thousands of dollars in their business, either it's online or offline, per day, while I was struggling to make a couple of sales per week or per month. And the one thing that I can share with you, and I've noticed, I always knew this, but now I really down to my core understand why this is so, because there's a science behind it, is that everything starts with one word. And that one word is belief. Okay? Our whole lives, with our subconscious map of reality, are based on belief systems. Okay? Now, beliefs is one thing you truly need to understand and learn about. Because once you understand this, you can change your map and you can start building belief systems and core beliefs that will help you manifest the things you want, instead of you wanted to do it all mechanically, right? In the reality here. Now, the number one key thing to any success is your belief system. Whatever you believe you can do, you will. Okay? You can. So, that's when things really changed for me. Okay? When going through this mentorship, I found out that I had like, I was really having a hard time to connect to my emotions. Okay. So what I found out is that it was like I had built a wall around my heart when most probably something happened to me, when I was a young boy. And the amazing thing at that moment, when I was going through those lessons and, those findings, those answers, is that I had like 3 specific events popped up in my mind every single day, like during 1 week, that were events around something that happened to me when I was a young boy or when I was a teenager. Okay. And those specific events had a pretty big impact on my life. When I look back at it right now, from where I'm right now as an adult, I was like, well, that shouldn't be, that big of a deal, right? But understand that at that moment, when something happens to you, that you feel hurt or you feel, there's abuse in your family, or there are people you lose, or people getting diagnosed by a disease, or anything that can cause, any type of emotion can actually become trapped in your body. Okay, so if your body is not ready to process this as it normally does, then it can become trapped. So understand that everything you see around you, like I just shared, is frequency. Okay, it's energy. So what are our thoughts? Thoughts are energy. We can even measure thoughts, right, with an EKG in the hospital. So what are feelings and emotions? They're energy. They are a specific frequency, okay, that we pick up with our own energy field. Okay, it's the resonance field that is around us. Okay, now the highest frequency in emotions are love and gratitude, right? The lowest frequency, and most of the time, most probably, is the main reason for people to do horrible things to themselves, is shame. Okay, it's the lowest frequency in emotion, in the emotional scale. So for you, it is really the best thing to focus on is and I learned this actually from a couple of mentors, be the steady Eddie. Okay, because this universe works on specific laws, right? The law of cause and effect will tell you that when you have a peak, when you have like an overjoy moment, then get ready, because you're gonna get down. That's the way it works. So the one way to really change your subconscious map of reality is to change your all day, everyday vibrational state of being. Okay. Now, what is your vibrational state of being? That's exactly your self-view and your worldview. So by finding out what is exactly what you are and what the world is, okay, you're putting in new information, and your inner self, or your true self, or whatever you wish to call it, there's a lot more to this. It will take over your small ego self that will, that you see in the mirror, and that will tell you that you cannot do this. The negative voices inside your head, it's all due to programming and conditioning. Okay. So when this takes over, your all day, everyday vibration will raise every single day. Put in personal development every single day, the right information. That's what you should focus on. Now, it's all about being in the preferred state of being. Okay. not the preferred state of thinking. It has to do with this, but that's why so many people struggle, because they only focus on positive thinking. But what are the words you're speaking? Spoken and written words are actually nothing more than thoughts expressed. Okay? So many people try to think positive, but they still, talk and use words out of the mouth that are still negative, right? It's like prayer. People pray to God or whatever God, doesn't matter, but their actions are opposite. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't work that way. So when I found out, and I was looking for answers, because I found out that I had a heart wall. So let me get back a little. When you have multiple trapped emotions, and emotions are actually energy frequencies, okay? So let me give an example. If you step into a room where has just been an argument, okay? Guys are arguing, people are fighting, or something like that, okay? What word do we use normally to describe the things we feel in that room? It's the vibe, right? So we can actually feel what vibe is in there. That vibe is energy, okay? Vibe actually stands for vibrations. So it's frequency, okay? So hatred or shame or worry, it's all a frequency, okay? Now, the energy field of our bodies responds to the frequency. And if our energy field is a little weakened, and we cannot process this, and we keep in this environment, and we keep, getting it to us, for example, by, negative people around you. When you come into a negative environment and you stay there, it can become trapped. Okay, it can become trapped in the body. It's like this energy ball that is in your body. And when your heart, which is actually the center of your communication body, right? So you have the physical body and the energy body. The heart is the center. It's the most important thing. So the heart is sending out electromagnetic signals to the universe, okay? For what you want, what you desire in your life. When you connect to people, when you want to, attract love in your life, attract your perfect lover. But when a lot of these things happen at the same time, you can build a wall around your heart. It's called a heart wall. So that's what I found out when I was going through that mentorship. I found out that I had a heart wall. So I wanted to know everything that I could learn from it, and how I could actually do something about it, right? So that's when I throw myself into the spiritual world. And I got in touch and found some material from specific spiritual healers, spiritual teachers. And what I found is exactly that all this knowledge was out there for thousands of years. And right now, luckily, some people really connect this to the knowledge that we have right now around quantum physics, around what reality really is. So for me, it connected instantly. Then I actually found out that I was able to do it myself, right? I was able to get information from my subconscious and then ask the questions if I had a heart wall, and what did I have to do, to release it. So after I did release that, as well as, some people around me and Joyce, my girlfriend, things were like really pulling off for me. Okay, that's how I manifested multiple international deals for an offline business that I had here, brick and mortar business in healthy spices, healthy products, and amazing things started to happen. But the thing I really wanna share with you guys and is that always ask yourself questions. Okay, do not ever use words like I cannot. Okay, I can't do this, or I don't have the money. Okay, if you want to do something, then start thinking about how can I. Okay, because if you use how can I and ask yourself these questions multiple times every day, when you wake up, before you go to bed, during out the day, and speak them out loud, you will get the answers. This is exactly how I was able to start all the businesses that I was in so far and that I had success with so far. How can I? The exact question, and then fill in the blanks, right? How can I come up with $5,000 to start a business? How can I, and fill in the blanks? So my aha moment was really when I found out that I had that heart wall, and I immediately felt that when I found out what I can do and what I can do together with my girlfriend is, okay, I don't know how, but this is what I need to do. This is my purpose. And this is my mission here. Okay, this is what I need to do, because all the things that I studied up to that point connected to what I learned about myself and what I learned what I could do when I was going through, the teachings that I found out about. So I started testing on different people. They got amazing results. And right now, that's how I started my own business with it. It's how I met Sean, how I met Julia, see amazing changes in their business, in their lives. And yeah, it's amazing when you have that feeling. And that's actually a question you can ask as well. What is my purpose? What is it that I need to focus on every single day? Because you will get the answer always. So guys, let me know if there's something else you want me to touch on.
That's awesome, Jeroen. Thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of this subconscious and conscious thing is we can't control it from way back when, but we can now that we're adults and we can actually visualize, hey, this is what's going on. Because I say to people, we live subconsciously and we just go consciously. Because we don't have to think about brushing our teeth and putting our clothes on and having a shower and all those other things. We're literally in our subconscious every day, as Jeroen was saying, about what your thoughts are, because you're thinking about all of the other things that don't serve you and actually consume you and hold you back from reaching your true abundance. And I learned that myself. I mean, most people don't write down goals. What's a goal? It's like a wish list. It is a wish list. When you write it down, it literally, and I use this as a scenario, there's this much cement in our subconscious mind that Jeroen is talking about that we need to break through with a jackhammer, because it's been there for so long. Our parents, don't do this, don't touch that. We've heard the word no 100 million times before we're 10 years old. We can't do that. I mean, I was told that, a million times in my life. I'm the oldest of three. You can't have that new jacket. You can't have those new boats until we get your brother and your sister one. It was, all of those things. And that started from our parents, from generations, like he said. And it's so important that when you change the way you think, your thoughts, your words, and your emotions around your life, it's literally going to change your perspective and how you vibrate through the day to make a bigger impact in your life. And I've been so blessed to meet the people that I've met in my business career as an entrepreneur. I'm a previous financial advisor addict. I love the financial services industry, but I just didn't have that right mentor to help me take my life and my business to a whole new level. I was spinning my wheels up against a brick wall. So I reached out to some people. I went offline and came online because I knew that online world is the way of the future. And I'm sure Julia and Jeroen and Nevia and Nicole and everybody else would agree that, you know what, if you're not online, Warren Buffett said it the greatest. If you're not learning how to generate income while you sleep, you'll die broke. And money's not everything, but if you don't have it, it's everything. And the reason why we're doing this is to help other people that we know that we've gotten in businesses, that are in our businesses or in an opportunity, and they're struggling with internal challenges. We got to pluck the weeds out of our own garden. You know, if I'm not mentally fit in my life, how am I able to help my kids and my wife? How am I able to inspire other people to make changes in their lives that they need somebody like us? People want to buy things, they don't want to be sold. And if you build rapport and relationships with the subconscious mind, that you take the transactional worrying about making that sale, as Jeroen said in the beginning, and you build that relationship, guess what? They're gonna be attracted to you and just totally love what you're all about. Because when you give, you will get. And I know that Jeroen's conversation and his story is pretty deep. And I too had a tough time swallowing that the first time I'd seen that. But when I started to, oh, that makes sense. That's me. I got one of those blockers. And I've reached some pretty good success, but I knew that I had to take my life to a whole new level, and that's how we connected. And I'm forever grateful for that, because I know that with that investment in myself to break through that, I know that we're on to bigger and better things. And I've just been blown away by the results that we've experienced in the last 90 to 120 days, online as well as offline, and the relationships, the caliber of people that I get to connect with now since I've left the financial services industry has been mind-blowing. I mean, when you can reach out to a multimillionaire, reach out to Jeroen in the Netherlands, I mean, it doesn't matter their net worth, but I mean, think of this. Your network is your net worth. I'm sure you've heard that thousands of times. And I've procrastinated for a long time to do this. And I told Julia this, and I reached out to her and I said, I would love to have you as my co-host on my show, so we can go and do big things together, because I know that teams can do more together than individuals. And I've had those aha moments that would blow the average person's mind. Coming from a truck driver, 26 years of working, making a decent income, it was literally, 16 to 18 hours a day, every day. For who? For somebody else. And I made that switch and said, I need to do something different, because I know that I have a greater purpose. And this is my greater purpose. We're going to connect with people around the globe. And the best part is when you truly give and you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. Julia, you have something to add to that?
I do. I'm forever grateful to meet both of you gentlemen, because you've changed my life drastically. Jeroen, in listening to what you were saying, I know when I was a coach before, and even now as a coach again, I've been asked the question about intuition. How does that feel for you? That's one question. And the other thing I'd like you to kind of delve into a little bit more is, how do we stop things from coming to us? Because I'm sure that that's a question that our viewers have, because we may think we're doing all the right things, but what is it that you define as stopping us? Because you did mention that, and I think it's worth exploring a little bit more, so people actually have a takeaway, something that they can say, okay, this is my intuition talking, and I know it's different for everybody, but give us an idea of what you meant by that, and also, what do you think stops us? Okay, thanks.
Okay, so let's go back to where I was talking about, having a heart wall, right? Because what your intuition, it's hard to explain what intuition really is, but what it is that inner feeling that you know which way to go in life, right? So for example, And I think the main thing that people need to learn, okay, is go from here to here. Because as human beings, we are thinkers, okay? We are programmed to really improve the brain, right? Because the better certifications you get in life, the better jobs you get, you know, etc., etc. So everything in society is all around improving the brain, improving knowledge, you know, the conscious mind, right? Well, actually, recent science found out that it's actually the heart, which is the center, which is our second brain, because we first pick up everything around us with the heart. It sends the signal towards the brain, and then we understand how we feel. Okay, so intuition is really your inner self knowing what to choose. But why do so many people, I was one of them, and let me clarify, I'm also, you know, I'm still struggling some days, okay? It's not that, and I know that this is never going to go away, okay? But I'm aware of it, so I can make conscious choices, you know? I can be the observer and see myself having a specific emotion, so I can find out where it comes from. Okay, so I can release it, and I can just be okay with it, right? Without any judgment of feeling good or bad. Now, think of this: when you have to make a decision, okay, ask yourself this question. Either it's option A or B. Which one, and I learned this from another mentor, which option feels lighter? Okay, option A, option B. And we don't have to talk about energy and all that works with frequency, but just with your feeling, you know, do not overthink it when you need to make that decision. Just try to relax and just think and feel which option feels lighter. Option A, option B. The one that feels lighter is most probably the one you should pick. Okay, the one that feels heavier is not going to be the way that you should choose to go. Okay, so intuition is really nothing more to me than learning to listen to your feelings. Okay, I posted today a post around having a heart wall. If you have a heart wall, almost certainly you have a block for abundance. Why is that? With our hearts, we manifest and we navigate our life. Okay, if our hearts get blocked from sending out love, from sending out appreciation, from sending out gratitude, how can we connect with other people? How can we connect to our vision, to our dreams? How can we be, you know, excited about things? So that's a side way, but intuition for me is really learning, and even if it's consciously totally not logical, you know, it's all the other way around, always listen to it. Okay, I've had some clients over the last few weeks that are, for example, in a relationship, and she or one person in that relationship really has a great intuitive feeling. So she knows and she feels in her heart truly what they need to do, or what feels comfortable, what feels uncomfortable. The other person is really, you know, the thinker, right? So the overthinking. I used to be that, and sometimes I'm still that. So I keep reminding myself, do not, you know, let go of control. Follow the heart, follow the feeling. And remember, I was not able to connect to my emotions. I was not able to feel what I needed to do. So it's interesting how that works. But I always tell people, and that's really following your heart. That is really what intuition is. Either when you consciously think that this is all not logical to choose to go that way, if it's, totally against what you think it's good to do, go the other way. Because the intuition is the most powerful thing, and it will always work out. Always. Now, the other thing that Julia asked me to share about how is it possible that how can we stop, and how is it possible that things show up in our lives that we don't want, right? That was the question, right?
How we stop things from coming to us, and conversely, things that we don't want too, that it all fits in the same package basically. So yeah.
Right. Now, there's one thing you need to understand, and it goes a little deeper, but I really want you to grasp this, and maybe you don't get it the first time, like Sean said. But everything is energy, okay? Everything is a frequency, and your life as you know it and reality as you know it right now is based on what you think you are and what you think the world is, your subconscious map of reality, which is based on your vibrational state of being every day. Then everything what shows up in your life, everything, events, objects, all the things you see around you in your reality, is nothing but a mirror of what you are. So it's not a mirror of what we think. Of course, it has to do with it, but it has to do with your personal vibrational state of being. So what is your preferred state of being? Happiness, right? Feeling joyous, joy, love, gratitude. And you can choose to go there. Now, sometimes it's blocking you, right? And that has to do with the broken map. So by changing your vibrational state of being, that way your reality will change automatically. And I'm actually sharing some stuff that I'm going to share later on today in a call that I will have with my clients. But I really want you to grasp, or really want you to, to get this information. Either if you do understand it right now or not, feel free to reach out to me and I will explain it to you personally, no problem. This is why things will show up in your life. And the only way to really change this is to, one, take full responsibility for everything that happened to you up till now in your life. Because you are the creator of your own destiny. Okay? You are the creator of your own life. And if you're not taking the responsibility, if you, find yourself feeling like a victim of life instead of the creator, and taking responsibility that I managed this, I manifested this reality. And then that it's not your fault, right? There's nothing wrong with you because it has to do with conditioning. But right then, you get the awareness that you can have a conscious choice to fix it. You can make a conscious choice to create another reality. But you just need to learn different stuff. And then, getting back to my first quote from Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that's specific, I think, the best answer. Does that cover what you want me to answer, Julia?
I think in a lot of ways it does, because we have been working together. I understand how you think, right? So, yeah. And for some people, I don't know if that was sort of too deep, but because a lot of people are looking for easy answers, and that's not always the way it is, right? So, for me, I know that my daily habits have made a huge difference. And part of that is reading. We've talked about in the past with the mirror work, I love you, Julia, standing still, like that's various things to get our energy up, our vibration up. And I think that's one thing that I know for me has made a huge difference in everything I've done in my life, even though I didn't consciously realize I was always doing it, but it's just made me feel better. And the positive thinking was the first thing I did, but I understand now that I was also attracting a lot of crap into my life, right? So, and that's that vibration. So, I mean, it's the thoughts that we think, it's the beliefs that we have, it's that, 5% of the iceberg on the top that we're conscious of and 95% subconscious that we're not really aware of, right? So I think that when I asked about things stop from things from coming to us, there's never an easy answer, but as you said, it is the vibration. It's the thoughts that we think. I liken it to, most people want to be debt free. So when you want to change that around, you can't have debt free in your goals. It has to be, I am becoming prosperous, or I'm on the path to being prosperous. I am on the path to becoming financially free. So it's in those words. You don't say won't. You don't say those words that you don't want in your life anymore, right? So those things you don't want. And for example, when someone's looking for the perfect partner, right? They want to focus on what they want in a positive way. I am attracting a partner that is loving, that's kind, that, all those things, instead of I don't want. So I think that when people understand that little bit, because I mean, it's huge, but it's little, right? It's a little thing that people can change. So I'm just saying it, I think I'm stating it in a different way than you did, because I know what I hear, and being a coach before and now, I know what people can understand, right? So, I mean, I think you did answer it, but I'm just trying to clarify it a little bit. So, Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, I can clarify a little more, because you actually inspired me to share a little more piece of information. So why it is so important, and when I first got started with this material, I proclaimed into the universe what I wanted. And actually, you got to be careful with the word want, okay? Because wanting, look it up in any what's the word, dictionary, right? In any dictionary, it says there's a lack of, in lack of. So when you keep saying I want, then guess what happens for the rest of your life? You keep wanting that specific thing, right? That's the vibration you send into the universe. So what you want to do is use I wish or I desire, or the most powerful two words are I am, right? Because I am sets a vibration that you already are in the position of having that. Now, the words are so important because words are powerful creators, okay? By speaking this out loud every single day, a couple of times, you getting yourself into the feeling. Success is really a feeling. It's a vibration. Now, the cool thing is that energy always follows human intent. So I teach my clients to set an intention of what you desire the outcome, what your desired outcome will be of the actions you take, or the content you put out, or the video you're shooting. So by doing that, you are recreating yourself. Okay, I learned about this when I read the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza, which is an awesome book to share in your group as well. In order for you to get different results, you got to be a different person. So, we can talk energetic, but this is physical as well. Okay, there are a lot of neurons in the brain, protons, neurons that are connecting when you are becoming another person. So trying to get from here as the same person you are right now to here will not work. Never. That's why so many people keep struggling. And you are experiencing this yourself right now, right? So energy always responds to human intent. That's why you need to set the intention and believe, have blind faith you're going to get it. It's the only way. And to raise that vibration, to raise that faith, study. Study, study, study. It's a good way to change your daily habits. Like Sean said, when we wake up, we get out of bed, the same part of the bed, same side of the bed every day, the same leg, the same foot we set out every day. We brush our teeth. We have the same routine. We brush our teeth, we go take a shower, go to the bathroom, grab some coffee, and we go to work, or we do whatever we were going to do, right? Every single thing is programmed. We don't even have to think about how to drive a car or how to brush our teeth. It's subconsciously, it's a program running. So in order for you to change and to get different results, you have to change the way you are. Okay? You have to change the person you are. You have to become another person to get other results. And study, guys, study this every single day. So the habits, one of the habits, every day, focus on personal development. I can share a couple books with you guys in the group if you want to. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is one major book that I read to understand how it actually works physically. Okay, this is really scientifically. And another one that I highly recommend to watch, we have What the Bleep Do We Know, all about quantum physics, the science behind the law of attraction, but also, and I think it's better to understand, is The Fabric of the Cosmos. Okay, it's a 4-part series on YouTube. The Fabric of the Cosmos, I think it's by Brian, I can't remember his name, but it's really, really amazing what he shares by really, being able to understand it. So yeah, I hope that serves the question as well.
That's awesome, Jeroen. Thank you. So I wanted to just end with this. It's pretty tough for us as human beings to be 100% positive all the time if 80,000 plus things, thoughts, words, emotions are going through our minds on a daily basis, and you're not putting positive things back in. I call it my emotional bank account. If my emotional bank account, because of the outside world, my environment, everything else, is crap, I get involved in the business, I'm excited for a very short period of time, boom, I fall off, I'm in the ditch, I'm taken out. And I strongly would recommend, following some of the things that we're sharing with you, because I too was one of those people. I was in a truck for 26 years of my life. I didn't have a lot of positive things happening in my life. I don't have a dad that supported me, parents broke down, all those things. I mean, lots of people are going through that stuff. I can honestly say that personal development has brought me here today to be in front of everybody here and to be blessed and share my story with you, not for pity, but to just to say, hey, you know what? I know what it's like to be in the trenches. Julie and I and Nicole and Jeroen and Nivea, all of us are still in the trenches building the life that we want to build for our families and the legacy that we want to leave for our kids. I went to a hockey game the other day with my son, and it was a good thing that I was in the position that I was in and to be able to go and do what I had to do, because just after I did my Facebook Live, I literally had to take my son to the hospital because he got a concussion. He got hit 3 times in the first period, and he was skating around and falling and all those things. And I was like, I told my ex, I'm like, there's something not right. You have that intuition, that inner vibration going, there's something not right. My ex was like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's not on the ice and he's not on the bench. There's something wrong. I'm going downstairs. And I just, boom, I went. Thank God that I have this opportunity in my life to be able to control my time with the most important people in my life. If the viewers watching this live or watching the replay want to understand exactly what it is that we do outside of what we do here, we have a solution for you that can get you to control your time. And when you can control your thoughts, your words, and your emotions, and your time, your abundant life will truly, truly, truly come to fruition, and thoughts will become things. Because when you think about those things with the end in mind, you'll have your wildest dream met in your life. So I want to end with that. I thank you for being with us here today on this episode of Success with Dynamic Duo. Julia, if you'd like to say something, we can end our broadcast.
It is a true blessing to be able to have Jeroen on here, and Sean, I'm so grateful that you reached out to me and we're business partners in this. And I just feel really blessed to be able to share these messages, because I've been through crap in my life too. And it's been a learning process, and I'm getting to the point where putting myself out there is hard for me. I'm getting better at it, but sharing some of the things that have happened to me in my life, not for pity, it's to prove that, we can all grow. We can all make our lives better. And I shared in a video earlier today that I've pulled my dreams off the shelf, dusted them off, and they're in my heart as goals now. And anybody can do it. It's just, are we worthy? Do we believe we can? There's so many factors in that, and pulling those weeds out, like Sean says. I mean, busting through those blockages that Jeroen is helping us with. It's just so amazing, and I feel so blessed. And that's about all I can say, is I'm just so blessed. So thank you very much. And it's been great having you guys on here.
Thank you so much, everybody. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Success with Dynamic Duo. Thank you, Nicole, Jeroen, everybody. God bless you all. We love you. We look forward to this journey together. We will see you next time. Take care.